Hi YouTube, it's Molly, and I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to talk about today. What I originally wanted to do was talk about some of the things I get comments regarding my age with surgery, but I have a feeling this is going to end up turning into just a skin flick, but I'm going to try to save that for last. But I get comments regarding age all the time, and why I said I think this is going to just turn into a skin flick is I think the one that just drives me up a wall and wants to like strangle small children is when people tell me that like, oh, you're so lucky you had it young, you won't have skin issues. I was obese for 21 plus years of my life. Like, I popped out at 9 pounds, 3 ounces. I'm not exactly sure when I went over the obesity line, but it was very, very young. I don't remember it. Getting all of my records is going to happen in October when I see my doctor. But as long as I can remember, I've been obese. You know, I'm willing to bet as early as 4 or 5, at least, if not younger. So, you know, I was obese, if not super morbidly obese, for an extended period of time. It's not like I just like one day went from skinny to super morbidly obese and was, you know, just there for a little bit of time and then decided to have surgery. It, you know, yes, I had it young, and no, it wasn't stretched out maybe as somebody who had been obese all their life and had it at 40 or 50, but it definitely was stretched out far enough, long enough that I do have skin. I do still have a decent amount of fat. So my skin, you know, it's still full of fat. It's not just skin, and I do still have work to do on the weight loss front. But I think that is the one that drives me up a wall the most, because it's just, it's so untrue. And I don't want to say that I struggle with it, but I do. There's definitely times where I'm just like, I'm 21, and despite the fact that I just lost 170 pounds, I still will never be able to wear a bikini. I still will, you know, never be able to like wear certain things, maybe unless I get surgery to get skin removed, which, as I've said 1,000 times, easily isn't happening for 5-10 years, if ever, between just tons of college debt from going for 2 different engineering degrees and time being in school or going into engineering as a field and going back for grad school. You know, between time and money, I don't foresee it happening. At least not anytime soon. So that's one thing. And before I go on to the skin flick, because I can just tell this is the only thing that people are going to get from this, but I think the other comment that I always get that kind of just like, and it might just be the way people word it, but it always kind of revolves around, it's like, oh, you're lucky you had it I can talk. You're lucky you had it young because you'll reach your goal weight and just like live the rest of your life. Like, it just comes off like nonchalantly, like, oh, you'll lose your weight and your happy life will just, you know, everything's wonderful and you'll be skinny for the rest of your life. And yeah, okay, yes, I understand. And I think the point that people are trying to get at is that, you know, I will have the ability to live most of my life at a normal weight, quote unquote, and be able to experience the things that maybe I couldn't experience before. But just the way a lot of times it comes off is that it's not going to take work and effort. And that kind of just makes me really wary, because it's going to be a lifelong struggle for me to keep this weight off. And that's never going to go away. I'm always going to struggle with obesity, even though yesterday I just crossed the line from obesity into overweight. I will always inherently as a person, regardless of my weight, struggle with obesity. It's not going to be easy to stay at a normal weight. So those are two kind of things I just wanted to address as a young person who gets these comments all the time, and sometimes they just make me want to strangle people because they're just not true. So basically, I guess what this is becoming, and I wasn't prepared for this, but I realized after I sat down to make this that I probably should just show my skin. So this isn't exactly the best outfit, but and I'm not wearing shapewear today because I was relaxing. This, and we'll just go up. Alright, so I started at 360, let's see, and I'm currently at 189.8, so this is like the normal hang here that, it's pretty typical. Obviously there's still a lot of fat in here, but point being, this is a lot of skin. Like, my body is here, and I can pull this out, fairly far. That's a lot of skin. It's, obviously there's still a lot of fat in there. But at the same time, I know that there's clearly more skin here than necessary. This is always lovely. I love when I do this. I'm convinced that I look like a pig with a whole bunch of teats, and I need little piggies. I don't know. That disgusts me whenever I do this, and it just feels funny because it bounces on itself. So that's my stomach without shapewear on. I don't know why I'm not wearing shapewear, but that's that. And then my arms don't look bad until you start shaking them, and then if you look at it, really they could be a lot smaller than they are. Not horrible, no. Definitely could be a lot worse. I think my arms are faring better than my stomach. This is a lot of movement, especially when I'm running. No matter how many Spanx or other compression things I choose to wear while trying to work out, this is a lot of movement. And I would show my legs, but I'm wearing jeans because I wasn't thinking that this is what I was doing when I sat down to make a video. But my legs are kind of like my arms. Obviously there's jiggle and there's extra skin, but it's not horrible. This isn't horrible, but it's not your average 21-year-old. Maybe on my grandma, but at 21, meh. So my legs, my thighs are fairly similar to my arms, just kind of their skin. It hangs a little bit, but not horrible. I've had a couple issues just with rashes in my belly button because the way the skin falls most of the time, it closes and will trap moisture, and I try to keep it as dry as possible. I have had some issues with that though, because it doesn't always stay dry despite your best efforts. And unfortunately I haven't been able to document any of those times just because with being away from home, I don't have a doctor up here, and I can't go running to the doctor when it happens to have it documented. So I'm also just not that concerned with it because I'm in no way weight loss, money, time, emotionally ready to have excess skin removed. First of all, I need to get to goal and maintain it for probably a year before I even start thinking about that, and pay off all of my college debt, unless we start a weight loss surgery community fund for Molly Sleeved to get skin removed. That would be fabulous, but doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. So, yeah. I'm trying to think, because I know there's other things that people say that drive me up a wall about my age, but I think most of what it comes down to is, like, thinking that it's like, oh, you had it young, you'll get to a low weight, and you'll just be there and be happy for the rest of your life. And I think that just kind of discredits the struggle that, you know, anybody is going to be on for the rest of their life to maintain that weight, you know, regardless of your age. Even after you hit maintenance, it's going to be a journey and effort to maintain that weight. And having it at a young age just means I'm going to have to do that for even longer. And then the skin thing, obviously, just, it doesn't magically bounce back. I wish it did. I wish my age had something to do with it, but I don't think, at least on my stomach, I don't think my age is making much of a difference. So that's a 170-pound weight loss skin flick for you. Once I hit goal, I will most definitely do another one. That's when I was planning on doing this, but just gotten a ton of comments about age lately, and I decided to come on and rant. So in another episode of Molly ranting about things, have a great day, guys.